Bulls Nation, as the episodes of this series continues to go up, so will the record of the Chicago Bulls, and it's slowly starting to determine just exactly what we're going to be throughout the rest of the season. Each week that goes by will slowly but surely determine what kind of team we will be. So without further ado, let's kick off this Chicago Bulls Weekly in this video. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls weekly video where we go through the previous games that the Chicago Bulls faced last week, and also look forward to the games that we will have in the following week for the Chicago Bulls. A very interesting week to say. Also, that games that we played and the future games that we have to play is going to be very interesting and very, I guess, understanding of where the Chicago Bulls are this season. Hopefully, we can get off to a good start in our next games. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below overall what was your thought on the previous week for the Chicago Bulls, the games that we faced, the results that we had, and which players stepped up to the occasion. Because there are big games in terms of our performances, and also very disappointing games, I should say, as well. And again, this week is involved in history for the Chicago Bulls. So there's something to be very happy with. The fact that our team made history in this week for the Chicago Bulls. So let's look at the games and the record that we went this week. The record was 1-2 for the Chicago Bulls. 3 games and we've lost 2. Let's look at the results of these games as well. The first game of this week was against the Washington Wizards, where the Bulls came back. The Bulls were down this entire game and we fell to the Washington Wizards by 4 points with no Russell Westbrook. In my opinion, probably one of the most disappointing games of the season in its entirety, and probably one of the worst results we will have all season. So a very disappointing result there. But then, a historic night for the Chicago Bulls, breaking records left, right, and center. The Chicago Bulls beat the New Orleans Pelicans 129-116. Again, history-making night for the Chicago Bulls. A game that I was extremely proud to watch, and a game that will be etched in history for probably a few weeks, I would say, maybe even more than that, probably the whole season, until the Bulls decide to break that three-point record again. I really feel like that's not far away. I think with the right offense and the right team that we face, we can break that record once again. I'm very sure of it. And then we fall to the Clippers 125-106. The Clippers are an outstanding team, even without Paul George, and we suffered the consequences of what a good team can do to us when they're in form and when they're hot and when they have something to prove. And Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers did that to us. These are the games where the Chicago Bulls struggled but also picked things up. So looking at the future games that we have, it's going to be a very key determination from the Chicago Bulls to pick up from that Pelicans game and move it on into other games in this week. Because there are some winnable games, in my opinion, this week for the Chicago Bulls. These are games that simply cannot be ignored. We need to look at these games as opportunities. And I feel like despite what maybe the record says, these teams, in my opinion, that we have in future weeks are teams we can beat. But before we go and talk about those, the things that stood out for last week for the Chicago Bulls was defensively we were poor. And I guess the best news you could say is that Pelicans game, our defense was not too bad. But I think overall our defense was poor this week, and the offense could not simply carry the load. This was a week where we missed Larry Markkinen, missed Wendell Carter, missed Chandler Hutchinson, missed Otto Porter, missed a bunch of our players. So it's understandable that the offense didn't really pick up as much as we would like. But defensively, we were worse with these players out as well, which is a big concern considering we don't know when Larry Markkinen's going to be back. It's 2 to 4 weeks. Wendell Carter could be 1 to 2 weeks still remaining until he comes back. Otto Porter, I have no idea what's happening with Otto Porter. Obviously, Chandler Hutchinson has personal reasons. Hopefully, everything's sorted with that. There are a bunch of players that we just simply don't know when they're going to return for the Chicago Bulls. It's the question of the unknown. So when you have so many players out, it's expected to get mixed results. It's expected to have good games and bad games because you don't have a form of consistency in a starting lineup. We saw Garrett Temple and Denzel Valentine have starts in the starting lineup this week. It's not consistent. And when you don't get consistent starting fives, you don't get consistent performances from those starting five, which again begins the struggle of consistency with this team. With that being said, let's move into the individual performers for this week. There are 3 awards that we give out, if you guys don't know. Disappointment / must improve of the week, the sixth man of the week, and of course, the player of the week. And again, more consistency comes out of this award week by week. I really feel like I'm targeting the same people every week. And it's starting to get to that point of the season where this is going to be basically what it will be for the rest of the season, most likely, to target these players until obviously other players come back. But some people have just simply not stepped up to the occasion of what we need from them. And there are some players that are doing consistently well for the Chicago Bulls every single week. So these awards are for them. These awards to acknowledge their weekly performances and to help us get a better understanding of just how good they've been every single week. The must improve. It has to be Daniel Gafford again. Now, I wouldn't say this one is as, I guess, far away as every other award. For example, usually when I target Daniel Gafford, it's by a landslide. I think this week it's not by a landslide. I thought he had a good game against the Pelicans. I thought against the Wizards he had some good runs in it as well. But the Clippers game was just so awful from Daniel Gafford that it kind of stands out compared to anything else that any other player did. Kobe White had a few games where he struggled. Even the likes of Garrett Temple struggles at times. But that Clippers game for Daniel Gafford was just simply a big reason for must improve. And it's still fresh in my memory, and maybe that's why I've done it. But realistically, as a starting center, to have that start in the NBA, to only be able to play 8 minutes and struggle so much that it basically put the mood for the Chicago Bulls for the rest of the game. I think Daniel Gafford is my must improve. And again, this is a very close one compared to others, as there were a few players that did struggle depending on the games that you watched. It was not as clear as day, Daniel Gafford, but still, it is Daniel Gafford in my opinion, and that's why it needs to be a must improve. Sixth man of the week, I'm going for the most consistent one. Now, I need to give credit to Denzel Valentine, but Denzel Valentine started a lot this week, so I wish I could give it to him, but unfortunately, due to the fact that he started this week, I cannot give that to him, but he deserves a lot of credit. Garrett Temple had a very good game against the Pelicans, and I think he had a decent game in this game as well, so credit to him. But I am going to still give it to Thaddeus Young. Another impressive week for the Chicago Bulls. A veteran, a consistent veteran that does a lot of things on the floor, that really is our second best player, and he's helping us keep tight and keep close in most of these games. So the Thaddeus Young, it's pretty simple as to why I've given him sixth man of the week. He is the best sixth man. He's the best player that comes off of our bench. It's as simple as that. I don't think anybody comes near him at the moment. And that just shows to his good form. And it also shows of how happy he is as a Chicago Bull this season. So fair play to him. There will be videos coming out about Thaddeus Young, potential trades, because there has been trade rumors about Thaddeus Young. Multiple teams are interested in him. At this point, who wouldn't be interested in Thaddeus Young? He's a real game changer for this team. I think he'll be a real game changer if he does leave this team to any other team. And hopefully that does not happen. The player of the week is fairly simple as well. It is Zach LaVine. I want to give a shout out to Kobe White for his fantastic performance against the Pelicans. Definitely by far one of the better performances of the week from a player. But Zach LaVine, consistently wise, absolutely phenomenal this week. And again, all-star level player. It's as simple as that. And he is definitely proving himself to be the most consistent player on our team. Sometimes star players don't always have good games. And it's a consistency barrier sometimes. Zach LaVine is consistently our best player every single game. And that could be a big indication of what the Bulls need to do in the future to get players to help him. It's also a big indication of the work that he puts in. And it's also an indication of just how talented and natural ability he has. The natural skill to go and compete, the offensive capabilities. This guy, no one can guard this guy. I truly believe that. I truly believe no one can guard Zach LaVine. I feel like there's always an element that he can find a way to score in, whether it's a fadeaway, a three-pointer, driving to the basket, pick and rolls. There are so many ways, backdoor cuts, every single way imaginable. Zach LaVine can find a way to score consistently. So fair play to Zach LaVine for another solid week for the Chicago Bulls. A very impressive one at that. And again, I'm very, very proud of my all-star Zach LaVine. And I know it's been a struggle. I know the Bulls have not won as much games as we would like. But compared to the way that it was done earlier, when it was basically Zach LaVine taking the final shot every time, wasting the shot clock and things like that. By no stretch of the means has it been anywhere near as bad as that. At the end of the day, I think Zach LaVine is doing the right things. He's getting his teammates open. I think he's taken the next step in his progression with this team and also as a player himself. Those are the awards. Let's look at the games that we have to look forward to next week. A very, very big week for the Chicago Bulls. Technically, it consists of 3 games, but I'm going to add the 4th game as well, just because it is a back-to-back and there's not going to be much time for me to make that video. So, with those 4 games, we've got the Indiana Pacers in the next game. Again, if you guys remember that game, we got screened out of every single possession. Sabonis, Miles Turner, every single player screened the life out of us, and it took us out of that game. Hopefully we can learn from our mistakes and be able to capitalize on Indiana Pacers, a team that, in my opinion, are still very, very good despite Oladipo not being there. Hopefully the Bulls can still find a way to win that game. I think it's very important that we go and beat the Indiana Pacers. Then we got the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets, in my opinion, is an up-and-down team. LaMelo Ball, I believe, is starting for the Charlotte Hornets now. Again, he's been sensational. I think by far the rookie of the year for the NBA. Patrick Williams is still a very good rookie, but LaMelo Ball's been killing it for the Hornets. And we've beaten this team before, so to say that we can't beat them again it's just not right. Of course, we could beat them again, but I think they're going to be in a much better mood compared to the last time we versed them. Last time we versed them, they were lost 2 in a row. I think this time around, they're having a little bit better they're playing a little bit better, and they have a little bit better confidence going into it. Then, we've got the Philadelphia 76ers. An elite team here. An elite team. Joel Embiid has been an MVP type form, and the Chicago Bulls are going to have a very tough time of stopping him with or without Wendell Carter. That is a definite matchup nightmare for the Chicago Bulls, and that's a team that I'm very, very scared to verse. Ben Simmons is stepping it up defensively. Again, 2 All-Stars on that team. It's going to be a very tough struggle for the Bulls in that game, but hopefully we can walk away with a victory there as well. We shall see. Very tough game. Unlikely, I should say as well, but we shall see. And then the last game, a back-to-back, the Sacramento Kings coming to Chicago, I believe. The Kings was a game that we competed against them for very good stretches, and they did end up coming away with it in the 4th quarter. Hopefully at home court, this game will be a reverse, and we can end up getting on the end of things on our side, and we can pick up a win against the Kings. I still think the Kings is a very, very, very interesting game. I think this is a game that we have to win as well, considering the competition that we do have this week. Overall, I'm expecting at least 2 wins this week. 4 games. Hornets is a winnable game. Kings is a winnable game. Even the Pacers is a winnable game. So I'm expecting 2 wins here, because I know we're not going to win all 4. That'd be amazing if we did. But I expect 2 wins out of this for the Chicago Bulls, and let's see what they can do with that run of form, and we can carry it over into another week for the Chicago Bulls. But I'm going to end it here for you guys. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you guys thought about this Chicago Bulls Weekly. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Take care. And